The Bible contains many prophecies, some of which are well known and others that are less well known. Some of these prophecies have already been fulfilled, while others are still awaiting fulfillment. 1. To a non-believer in the faith, the Bible contains many prophecies that were written hundreds or even thousands of years before the events they predicted. 1. Some of these prophecies are quite specific and have been fulfilled in remarkable detail. 1. For example, the Old Testament contains many prophecies about the coming of a Messiah, and Christians believe that these prophecies were fulfilled in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. 2. To a child, the Bible has many stories that tell about things that were going to happen before they happened. 2. These are called prophecies. 2. Some of these prophecies have already happened, like when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, just like the Bible said he would be. 2. Other prophecies are still going to happen in the future. 3. To a priest, the Bible is rich in prophetic literature, with many passages containing predictions of future events. 3. These prophecies serve as a reminder of God's sovereignty over history, and his faithfulness to his promises. 3. As priests, we have a responsibility to help our congregations understand the significance of biblical prophecy, and its relevance to our lives today. 4. To a theologian, biblical prophecy is a complex and fascinating subject that has captivated theologians for centuries. 4. The prophetic literature of the Bible contains both conditional and unconditional prophecies, some of which have already been fulfilled and others that await fulfillment. 4. As theologians, we must approach biblical prophecy with humility and rigor, seeking to understand its original context and its significance for contemporary readers. Here are some examples of well-known biblical prophecies. 1. The prophecy of the virgin birth. In Isaiah 7:14, the prophet Isaiah predicts that a virgin will conceive and bear a son who will be called Emmanuel. 1. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled in the birth of Jesus Christ, to the Virgin Mary, Matthew 1:22-23. 2. The prophecy of the suffering servant. In Isaiah 53, the prophet Isaiah describes a servant of God who will suffer and die for the sins of others. 3. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled in the death of Jesus Christ on the cross, Acts 8:32-35. 3. The prophecy of the restoration of Israel. In Ezekiel 37, the prophet Ezekiel predicts that God will restore the nation of Israel and bring them back to their land. 3. This prophecy has been partially fulfilled in recent history with the establishment of the modern state of Israel. In addition to the well-known prophecies mentioned earlier, the Bible also contains many other prophecies that are less well-known. Some of these prophecies are quite specific, and have been fulfilled in remarkable detail, while others are more general and their fulfillment is open to interpretation. Here are some examples of less well-known biblical prophecies. 1. The prophecy of Cyrus. In Isaiah 44:28-45-1, the prophet Isaiah predicts that a ruler named Cyrus will allow the exiled Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. 1. This prophecy was fulfilled about 150 years later when Cyrus the Great, king of Persia, issued a decree allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple, Ezra 1:1-4. 2. The prophecy of Tyre. In Ezekiel 26, the prophet Ezekiel predicts that the city of Tyre will be destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar and its ruins will be scraped clean and thrown into the sea. 2. This prophecy was fulfilled in stages over several centuries. 2. Nebuchadnezzar besieged Tyre for 13 years but was unable to completely destroy it. 2. However, about 240 years later, Alexander the Great conquered Tyre and used the rubble from the mainland city to build a causeway to the island city. 2. He then destroyed the island city and threw its ruins into the sea. 3. The prophecy of Bethlehem, in Micah 5:2, the prophet Micah predicts that a ruler will come from Bethlehem, who will shepherd God's people. 3. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled in the birth of Jesus Christ in Bethlehem, Matthew 2:1-6. Here are some additional examples of prophecies in the Bible. 1. The prophecy of the New Covenant, in Jeremiah 31:31-34, the prophet Jeremiah predicts that God will make a new covenant with his people, in which he will write his law on their hearts and forgive their sins. 1. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled in the new covenant established by Jesus Christ through his death and resurrection, Luke 22:20, Hebrews 8:6-13. 2. The prophecy of the outpouring of the Spirit, in Joel 2:28-29, the prophet Joel predicts that God will pour out his Spirit on all people, and that they will prophesy, dream dreams, and see visions. 3. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled on the day of Pentecost when the Holy Spirit was poured out on the disciples of Jesus, Acts 2:1-21. 3. The prophecy of the triumphal entry, in Zechariah 9:9, the prophet Zechariah predicts that a king will come to Jerusalem riding on a donkey. 3. Christians believe that this prophecy was fulfilled when Jesus entered Jerusalem riding on a donkey, Matthew 21:1-11. These are just a few more examples of the many prophecies contained in the Bible. As we study these prophecies and see how they have been fulfilled, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the sovereignty of God over history and his faithfulness to his promises.